Hello and welcome to Breakfast All Day. I'm Matt here with Christy and Alonso. They are going to talk about The Marksman, which stars Liam Neeson as the Marksman.
Yes.
I didn't see it though, so Christy, why don't you tell us what it's about?
This is your annual January Liam Neesoning. And this is nowhere near the standard of any of the Takens or the one on a plane.
It's better than Taken 3. Let's not forget Taken 3 was...
Taken 3 was not good. That's true. That was bad. But like the original Takens, like I think they're all trying to like chase that dragon of the original Taken.
Oh, yeah.
Some achieve it and some do not. This is very far away from it. So Liam Neeson is a widower and a rancher living on the Arizona-Mexican border. And he is in danger of losing his property. He's behind in his bills. He is buried in medical bills still from his wife's illness. But yet he patrols his property in his pickup truck with his trusty dog, Jackson, riding shotgun. And the beginning of this, it's like the sun is warm and it's fading in the sunset behind him, and he's riding on his dusty roads in his truck, and he pulls up to his house, and there's like an American flag waving in the foreground, and all it's missing is Bob Seger singing "Like a Rock." That's all you need. And Robert Lorenz directed this. Long time Clint Eastwood producing partner, Robert Lorenz, who has produced a lot of the kind of movies that this is in the most fundamental way. Like he's this old crotchety guy living alone by his own code, and something happens to shake it up.
How many Clint Eastwood coffee rings do we think were on the script by the time it got to Liam Neeson? I mean, it's insane how much of this is a Clint movie.
I mean, and specifically, it's like cranky, cantankerous Clint movie where
Gran Torino,
where it's like Gran Torino or like
Mule.
Right, or he meets a kid or he meets somebody who
of color
softens him and educates him. There's definitely a formula here. Robert Lorenz also directed Trouble with the Curve.
Yes.
It's not a good movie. But again, this is, the favorite that Clint did for him. Right, but this feels very much like a later Clint role. So one day he's patrolling his property, and he's a former Marine, and he's having trouble finding.
He's a Vietnam veteran who talks like Liam Neeson.
Right. Also, and this is going to come up when we talk about No Man's Land later. How is it possible that Liam Neeson has a ranch on the border and speaks no Spanish? Literally, he can say familia and comida, and even those he pronounces them horribly, and he's super condescending, like no hablo inglés, speak English.
Because Clint wouldn't. That's why.
Anyway, it just seems like irresponsible and implausible. Like you learn some Spanish just because it's around you. Anyway, so one day, mother and her son, the kid's about 11, they're crossing through a section of fence on his property because they're trying to escape these cartel assholes who are after them, something having to do with her brother, some trouble that he's gotten into. And so these big bad cartel guys are after them. They get in front of his truck. They get in front of Liam Neeson's truck, and he gets put in the position of like then having to take care of the child. And at first, of course, he's reluctant. He wants no part of this, but the kid's got a little piece of paper in his pocket with an address for a place in Chicago.
Please take care of this bear.
Pretty much. And it becomes like this road trip to Chicago with the cartel guys on their tail. And that's the big chunk of it. And
every time they say the cartel, you could drink in this movie.
It is very, Neeson, again, as always, has a particular set of skills. And this particular skill is that he is a marksman, but he doesn't get to mark anything until like the last third. Like, this is the opposite of Chekhov's gun, right? Like there's no gun anywhere in the foreground of this to then like foreshadow what's going to happen in the third act. It's just, he takes care of this kid and he learns about being nice to Mexicans.
Look, I love the Liam Neeson, Joe McCalais movies, Unknown, Nonstop, even The Commuter. Like those movies have at least a fairly healthy sense of their own absurdity and just sort of roll with it. And this movie is so like meant for meant for late era Clint Eastwood, and is just so grindingly uninteresting until it just gets, I mean, it has moments of absurdity that are unintentional. Like there's a scene where they're finally getting into Chicago. They're on this packed freeway, and we're supposed to believe that like one skinhead with binoculars is going to pick out his individual truck, and simultaneously that Liam Neeson is going to see the one skinhead with binoculars on an overpass clocking him. It's like, what's even happening here? This is really not, it's not fun, frankly, and it's not smart, and it's just not exciting. It's not anything very good.
The kid doesn't get a whole lot to do either.
No, not really. And they try at the last minute to turn the mean cartel guy into a character and decide and like make it somehow where he and Liam Neeson are battling for this kid's soul, and how, you know, we get these shots of like bad cartel guy watching like dads and sons playing catch in a park, and you know, we're supposed to feel that, oh, he didn't have a childhood, he was sucked into the cartel, you know. And it's like there's so little of that, and then they try and make it weigh something at the end of the movie. It's like, no, you had to write that before if that's going to mean something now.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to him. He's just sort of like chewing the scenery and being like mean, like neck-tatted
so
bad guy.
evil.
Also,
and all the cops are on the take, and the border patrol, like everybody's on the take of the cartel.
It's a very elaborate conspiracy theory chasing down this guy and this kid.
Yeah.
Also, Katheryn Winnick plays his stepdaughter, who happens to be a border patrol agent, and she doesn't really get a whole lot to do besides answer the phone when he calls in from various places, just to let her know that he's still alive. And she's, come on in, I'll bring you in, we'll make a deal, it'll be okay.
In an era in which, like, we know so many horrible things about what happens to children at the border and where they get put, this kid gets put in this very clean, very empty holding facility that Liam Neeson is able to spring him out of with minimal effort. Like, he just waltzes in and waltzes out. I'm like, okay. Like, yeah, again, this movie doesn't earn any of its chits, and it doesn't have anything to say, and it's not entertaining.
Also, did you notice, I'm sure you did because you're good at these things, when they are sitting in a motel room and they're eating snacks and watching a movie.
And it's a Clint movie.
Hang 'em high.
Yeah.
Is the movie that it is. So, and they Robert Lorenz really holds on that shot just to.
I got this clip from my good friend Clint. And by the way, if you're the sort of person that is upset by this sort of thing, you might visit the website doesthedogdie.com before checking out this movie. Just saying.
Yes, that felt really unnecessary to me because the bad guy is so obviously bad. I don't think you needed to have that thing happen to illustrate what an evil guy he is and what lengths he'll go to exhibit, you know, how dangerous he is. Yeah, I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. Anyway, this is not a very good movie. It has some attractive scenery here and there along the border.
Sure.
I'm saying
no, so I was gonna say it's not even as good as Honest Thief was, and I barely even remember Honest Thief at this point.
Honest Thief, right? He's a thief, but he's honest.
That's the one.
It's all coming back to me now. I'm saying 4.
Did you? I thought you said 5.
No, I didn't say a number. You said a number.
No, I know. But when I looked my number up on Metacritic, I thought you had given it a 50, or somebody at Metacritic thinks you gave it a 50. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't give numbers to things.
Well,
they extrapolated.
Okay, then that's on them.
Assumed. I didn't.
Fair enough. I'm a 4.5.
I'm not nearly as beholden to the Metacritic number as I know you like to be, Alonso. I know you like to be consistent.
Because here's the thing. At one time, my number here didn't agree with my number there, and some listener complained about it. So now it's like I say it to Metacritic.
Now you're letting the terrorists win.
That is the number that it might as well be a tattoo. I'm stuck with it forever.
I would argue that perhaps your opinion might change in the time from when the review gets published until we talk about it.
Or perhaps the numbers themselves are utterly meaningless, but That's a
But
topic for
gonna give
another
some-
day.
We're going to give some too. So our number is a 4.3.
Indeed it is. All right. Thank you for watching. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us at BeFastAllDay on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And hey, this would be a great week to go join our Patreon at patreon.com/BeFastAllDay. Not only are we recapping WandaVision and Bridgerton, but this week you can check out a movie, a classic that our subscribers voted and chose for us to review, and that would be John Frankenheimer's 1962 The Manchurian Candidate, starring Frank Sinatra, Lawrence Harvey, Janet Leigh, and the incomparable Angela Lansbury. Check that out, won't you? Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.